Hey guys, I'm back and so stoked we fixed the sorting issues. I did notice that we kind of have a bit of a straggler here. Our little partial match icon is no longer aligned with the image, so I think I'll take a look at that next before we move on to the hint dialog. So let's just open that quickly. Out the way there, controls. Puzzle image, okay. Let's have a look. Where are you? I actually really am not a fan of the name of this component. I think I might just rename it. Puzzle image makes sense if it's just the image, but it's kind of not just an image. So I might just go puzzle image input, and then we all on the same page. Now I just use something called Move TypeScript, which is a VS Code plugin, and that will just update all the dependencies, which I think is just in one file. But let's confirm. So over here, it's now referencing the new location, and if it was used in multiple locations, it would also have updated that. So it's all good. Puzzle image input, I think that's cool. Image, maybe puzzle image input. No, let's leave that for now. Let's not go crazy. Okay, back to where we were. Actually, I'm just looking at this now. Can users scroll without dragging these sortable items? Oh my, don't know if they can. They could do it by grabbing the side, maybe? Ooh, we're gonna have to fix that. I think we need to just add some padding right in this container, just to make sure our users can scroll. Like, oh no, not there. I want to add it here. And then they can, they've got some kind of container to scroll. I don't know if that's ideal. Definitely works on desktop, that's fine. Just on mobile, it's... Okay, we can maybe adjust the delay rather. More sorting, but this is no doubt the last one. Let's see, at 250. Be more of a press and hold. That's much better. So you actually have to keep it in, and then you can sort. Is that delay enough? Let's see if we can just reduce this delay. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. I don't have to hold it in for too long, but I can still scroll with a swap. Okay, that's fine. And then let's just finally fix this P icon, which is related to the puzzle image input. And we'll find that over here. So it is absolute, relative, flex. This container is stretching for some reason. Where is your parent? Your parent is making you stretch. There. Okay. Missing item start again. Weird. Anyway, all sorted. Should be good. I may just make this a bit tighter and flip-flop back onto the image size. It's just, I can just see it not being big enough for people to actually view. It's a bit better. Okay, cool. And then just decrease the gap on the puzzle image rows. Yes, that's better. A bit more condensed. Maybe just a little bit of gap. We're faffing around now, but okay, cool. Fix the P. Let's move on to the hint. Cool. We're done with you for now. We're back on the hint. So we want to, instead of making this button with a tooltip that you need to actually press on mobile to show the hint, we want to make it a button that actually says show hint. Because once the user presses that, we'll record it and it will count against their score later on. So let's just do that. We want to keep this here. We're going to actually use this for something else. We're going to use it to show a dialog with instructions. But for the show hint button, I'm just wondering where a good place would be to do that. I mean, it could be an icon. No, we want to avoid the icon because unless that's how our users just learn. Hint, maybe like a spying glass. Okay, let's try a button. Let's try a button over here, aligned to the right. Flex, justify, define end, and width full, button, show hint, and we will, what kind of button do we want? Not a primary one, a secondary one, maybe even just a ghost button, sorry. Daisy UI is using these class names, so I might even just make it a small one. Show hint, maybe below the section, and ghost button doesn't really work there, but I do want to make it different to the primary button below. Okay, that's cool. Nah, not enjoying this. I think maybe an icon does make sense because it'll be one of those learned behaviors. You do it once and you learn for the next time, so it's not critical that it actually is text, and it just looks so much cleaner. So let's pop another icon next to that. And for the hint, we can't use a question. Maybe like a puzzle piece. That's actually, that'll be a cool one. Yep. Let's roll with it. So we'll do another one of these next to it. And we might just add another loading states for that one too. And let's just use a fragment just to group those, because React, obviously throws this error if we don't group them with some sort of element. And this will be a puzzle, this one will be a puzzle piece icon, and that's fine. This one can say help, on show hint, on show help. And we should have two icons that are quite separate. No, that's cool. Just why is the tooltip not centered? And I don't like the padding issues that we're having. I would like to just remove it completely. And obviously we need some gap. Okay, that's better. And then we don't have the tooltip alignment issues. Okay, so on click of the hint icon, I want to show a dialog. And there are two ways we can do this. We can either use state, so we keep track of some state boolean in this component and toggle it to true when the icon's clicked, and then when that boolean is true, we will in the UI just kind of say show hint dialog and hint dialog, something like that. But I quite like using hints using dialogs as roots, because we don't need to manage any state. And I don't know, it's just nicer. Yeah, so let's do that. And I'm just thinking what the root could be, something like this. Yeah, that could work. Let's do puzzle hint. And so to add a root, we need to go into our router. Sorry, first into our root, we'll go, it's a puzzle hint. Let's be specific, puzzle hint. And later on, use a param. We might actually use params here. So if the user goes to the puzzle root, we'll show today, but later we might have some kind of puzzle ID param, which we'll use to retrieve a puzzle in the past. But anyway, we're not gonna handle past puzzles for now. Let's just do this. Okay, so we've added it to the root. We need to also create a new page for it, which is just gonna live inside puzzle. We'll call that hint and hint.tsx. And that is just going to be a dialog. And I just want to have a look at how I've done the dialogues in the past. Release notes dialog. I'm going to grab that code. No need to reinvent the wheel. Hint dialog, we will probably keep this stuff. We'll keep a header, content, and title will change. Let's remove all this other stuff. So it's open by default because it's going to be at a root. We don't need to make this. It needs to be true. It needs to open. And then in our router, we are going to render that within as a child of the puzzle root. So root path is root of puzzle hint. The element is puzzle hint. Probably just called it hint over here. Puzzle hint dialog, but let's name things nicely in the component so that our type ahead suggestions over here come up nicely. Over here I've just named it hint because relevant to the puzzle, it's just a hint. I'm not sure if I should name that puzzle hint, but let's name it after the component. Yes, and then the root is basically saying we've nested it, so it's puzzle hint, and then the component file is called puzzle hint dialog. No. Yes. Let's do that. And yep. But release notes, we kept it as an index. Maybe that's our convention. My bad. That's why that was tripping me up. Okay, so for roots, we're sticking to this convention where we use an index file. Cool. So we've got a root there. We must just remember that because it's going to be a child of puzzle, puzzle now needs to render an outlet as part of the page layout. So React Router DOM is going to look at this and say, okay, any child roots, render them at this outlet. And that's how you can get nested roots going on. And pretty much what Remix Run is doing, just like rendering a bunch of outlets with nested roots. And now when I click on the show hint dialog, we are going to essentially navigate. Have I used navigate here yet? No. Okay, that's right. This can actually be removed for now. Navigate equals use navigate. Grab the hook. Navigate to the root puzzle hint, and that will render the hint for today's puzzle. And I'm starting to wonder if we need our parameter. But yes, look, check it out. So it works quite nicely. The tooltip does allow you to, no, it doesn't allow you to just click. Okay, we might just remove those tooltips on mobile, at least, because that's not really ideal, is it? Having the tooltip render as you open it. But I would like it on over here. Like, that's nice. Okay, it's just gonna make things a bit more complicated, but let's do it properly. So we'll go for hint button. Show hint button will be this one here, and we will render it there. And then it just complicates things a little bit, but basically on mobile we want to render just the hint button, class name LG hidden hint button, show hint button, and on desktop we'll go none. Let's display none hidden, and then desktop LG block. So technically that's gonna give us the tooltip on desktop, but on mobile it shouldn't. Yes, desktop tooltip. This isn't desktop yet. Boom, desktop. Good. Okay, so we can use the same approach for the show help button, and we'll just do the exact same thing. Yeah, okay. Show help button, boom, boom. same story. And yeah, that should work. Cool. So our dialogue for the hint, today's puzzle hint. We've got some content and we just want to, basically we will go and fetch today's puzzle and display the hint. And it may seem like duplicate data, but it'll make sense because once we're using to answer that query, it's actually just going to return a cache. It's going to return cache data for us, and we don't need to actually refetch it. But I'm just adding this here just so we have it, and then we can go and display the. Yeah. Okay, we can do some loading state. That'll be good. Loading state. What are we going to do? We'll do a skeleton. Wait, let's define what it looks like first. Are we just going to render the hint? A game you play on road trips. That's cool. I feel like this is way too big. What do we got here? Card. P6 for the header and for the content. P6, PB8. This could be improved a bit. Now I've just refactored to use the Daisy UI component, so I'm tweaking things as I go. I feel like this is way too much space over there, horizontally at least. And that X icon, yeah, can I do negative margin right? Yes, it's much better. I just want to align it a bit better. So that looks much nicer. This is huge though. I suppose it's okay. I feel like we need more padding now. I do like 8. And then content needs 8 too. Yeah, that's better. We also want to stretch this thing on mobile, at least. I want to kind of... Oh, we got max width, but we aren't stretching, are we? Haha, that's why. Okay, that's so much better. And on desktop, looks more or less reasonable. Today's puzzle hint. Maybe make it a bit more interesting. Detective, icon, unisex. No, that's a woman. Cool. Puzzle hints. A game you play on road trips. Happy with that. I think we also need a bit of a skeleton here. Was that right? Yep. Skeleton. And what else? What other props did we add? Grab this stuff. Do skeleton, but width will be full. And height 32 is probably too big. What does that look like? Yep, way too big. That looks appropriate. Bit bigger. Does 9 exist? I think that'll be perfect. No, let's go. Stick with 10. Yes, 8 was right. Okay. Cool, so puzzle. Okay, you are complaining because I didn't name you correctly. So yeah, we got a hint. As a dialogue, we can reload the page. And if we do reload the page, later on, we're going to set this up to go and fetch data. It will just go and get fresh data too. So pretty cool. We just need to make sure that we're fetching the correct dates, but we'll manage that some other time. Cool, that's the hint dialogue. I think up next we'll tackle the instructions dialogue, pretty much do a similar thing. And yeah, see you then. I think I'm supposed to sign out with a different language. What can we do next? Italian. Arrivederci.